I'm glad you said I'm glad you used the word optics because it's important in this case. A friend of mine posted on Facebook the other day something about, it was illegal for Trump to appoint Musk. And I was like, no, it wasn't.
All right, I'm going to put a pin in one thing because I want to come back to that whole friendship thing with someone else, but I don't want to lose the last important part of this USAID conversation, which is how it's being uncovered.
Right.
So I wish we lived in a world where optics didn't matter, but they do. Mm-hmm. How things look, unfortunately, are often more important than how they actually are. And you just had an election where certainly, like, a lot of people voted for Trump and voted for going in and fixing some of the swamp and whatever. And
yes.
He's trying to follow through on some of that, and I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who is a fan of Elon Musk,
mm-hmm.
I always say this, I'm not a fanboy. Right. I don't sit here and gargle the balls of every fucking thing he does.
Yes.
He's a genius. I love his companies. I think there's so much exciting shit. I think he's a funny guy. I think he's entertaining. I think he has some pretty good ideas. I disagree with some of the ways he publicly goes about things. I also know as he stated, like, he has autism. So there's a certain...
There can be an edge to him.
Right. There can be an edge to him. The optics, though, of the richest guy not named Vladimir Putin or some long Saudi last name in the world having full access to all of these programs, including, I think, even some stuff in the Treasury or whatever.
And the IRS.
Right. Now, he's not technically elected, though a lot of people did elect Donald Trump with him being attached to it. I will defend him on that. The optics, though, of him being in charge of that is not the best to me because I almost wonder if it defeats the purpose of what I like him doing here, which is this, minus like it just being him doing it. Does that make sense?
I'm glad you said I'm glad you used the word optics because it's important in this case. A friend of mine posted on Facebook the other day something about, it was illegal for Trump to appoint Musk. And I was like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, well,
no, it's not at all illegal. His title is advisor to the president.
Right.
Okay. Anybody can be appointed advisor to the president. And when you're appointed advisor to the president, you're given the necessities to carry out the task. So he's got, all the clearances that he needs. He has, a small staff. I think his staff is a problem. It's like 5 guys in their early 20s who don't really know what they're doing. That was probably not the best choice. But he's perfectly within his rights to be doing what he's doing. I would prefer, like you, that he not muck around with my personal information that's at the IRS or the Department of the Treasury or whatever. But with that said, his task from the president is to take a machete to the federal budget. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
I was reserving judgment until just a few days ago when the president announced, much to the shock of every lefty in America, that he's ordered Musk to cut the Pentagon budget by 8% a year for 5 consecutive years. That has never been done in American history, ever. It's incredible to me.
Yes.
A letter went out to all CIA employees the other day saying, we're not immune, layoffs are coming. There hasn't been a layoff at the CIA since 1977. So this is serious. They mean business. And I think that's a good thing.
I do too. Is it problematic, though, that one guy's kind of spearheading it and just like this isn't his fault, but he is the richest guy in this country?
Yeah, it's a bad look. I will admit to you, it's a bad look. I mentioned offline and you told me to wait. I actually met him one time.
Yeah. John's got it. Like, every time, it really does happen off camera, people. Every time we bring up anything, he's like, let me give you an example. I know that guy. And you're like, wait, how do you know Abraham Lincoln? I was there. April 14th. What a night. Every fucking time.
I got a Lincoln story, too. I'll tell you in a minute.
God damn.
No, you'll get a kick out of it. So, as a hobby, most people don't know this. Most people who know me don't know this. But as a hobby, I like to write television pilots, right? Just for fun. And I have an agent and a manager and an entertainment lawyer, and I have sold 8 of them over the years. And one of them actually made it to pilot, right?
Under your name?
Yeah. Uh-huh. I have an IMDb page that's like this long.
Yeah, let's get it.
So I had an idea for a news show, and I mentioned it to a buddy of mine who's in the industry. And he said, oh, wait a minute. He says, before you pitch it, my best friend from high school just became the president of NBC. Ben, I don't remember his last name. He was the producer of the Office. He said, let's pitch it to Ben. Yeah, see, I did all kinds of stuff there.
True.
And I've got like 60 something.
True Lies?
Yeah, True Lies. I was the script coordinator.
Come on.
Yeah, fun.
Wait, you were on Kill the Messenger, the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, you were an advisor for that, right?
I was an advisor.
That's about
script
Gary,
advisor,
whatever.
Gary Webb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They whacked him.
I did Bruno. I did From Paris with Love with
Yeah.
John Travolta.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, you've talked about Bruno before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I do all kinds of stuff.
All right, so you were saying your friend, the NBC.
So he said, yeah, I got this friend Ben. He was my best friend from high school. He just became the president of NBC. Let me call him. We could pitch the show to him. I said, great. So he calls him, and Ben says, hey, I'm going to be at dinner at the White House. Obama had just gotten elected, and he had this big fundraiser for wealthy Jewish Democrats. And so he said, the dinner ends at 9. Let's meet at the bar at the Hay Adams Hotel across the street from the White House at 9. I said, great. So 9 o'clock comes. He's running a little late. He calls my buddy and says, hey, I'm running late. I'll be there at 9:15. Do you mind if I bring a friend? We said, no, the more the merrier. So they come at 9:15. And my friend Rich and Ben are like hugging each other. Oh my God, it's been so long. You look great. Oh, you've had such success. You're the producer of The Office, and now you're NBC. It's amazing, and blah, blah, blah. And then they sit down. And Ben says, this is my friend Elon. And I said, hi, Elon. Nice to meet you. I shake his hand. I said, and Rich says, this is John. I said, hi, Ben. Nice to meet you.
This is like 08, 09?
Yeah, the
09.
very beginning of 09. So we're sitting there, and Rich and Ben are like, hey, remember this girl we both banged in high school? And hey, remember this teacher we both hated? Remember so-and-so had this party? And Elon and I are just sitting there looking at these guys. This conversation means nothing to me. So finally I go, so, Elon, what do you do for a living? As soon as the words came out of my mouth, he goes like this. He goes, oh, I have this passion for technology, and I created this company called PayPal, and then I sold it for like $1 billion, and then I used the money and I bought another company called Tesla, and then I have another company called SpaceX, and we're going to go to Mars, and we're going to colonize Mars, and we're going to put a big dome, and it's going to have oxygen in it, and people are going to go up there, and they're going to colonize Mars. Some are going to die, but they're going to be heroes. They're going to be heroes. We're going to colonize Mars. And I'm looking at him, and I go, wait a minute. Are you Elon Musk?
Oh my God.
And he goes, yeah.
Oh my God.
And I go, like the Thomas Edison of our time. Yeah. He goes, I don't know, I guess so. But anyway, we're going to go to Mars, and there's going to be this giant dome, and we're going to build buildings in there, and we're going to be able to farm, and we're going to have oxygen. I never pitched the show. I never spoke about the show. The whole rest of the 2 hours was him talking about colonizing Mars.
And you said this at the very beginning of 2009, shortly after.
January of 2009.
Okay, so literally days after Obama.
Yeah, days. He had been president for days.
You know what's crazy about this? There is a very famous story about Elon Musk, and please correct me in the comments if I have the date wrong, but I'm pretty sure I got it right. Christmas Eve, 2008, weeks before this.
Yeah.
Very famous story. Elon was up to the brims because of the financial crisis. He had Tesla and he had SpaceX. And he was told by all of his advisors, they had money due. They had been trying to get raises in, couldn't get it in. The companies were going kaput.
Oh, boy.
They said, you have to pick one. If you pick one, there's like a 90% chance or something that it will survive. If you pick both, they'll both die.
Oh, my God.
And he said, I can't let one go. I guess we're just going to have to die.
Oh my God.
And he picked it, and then money came in like 5 days later. They were able to. So he's talking with you in this hotel weeks after, like nothing's going on, when he just made the most insane decision of his career.
And for years afterwards, I just assumed he was Jewish because he had been at this fundraiser. Well, because it was a Jewish fundraiser, Jewish Democrat.
What'd you say? Where's your yarmulke?
No, and in fact, somebody corrected me years later, and they said, Musk isn't Jewish. I said, are you sure? Because he was at this fundraiser for Jewish Democrats. He's like, no, he just went just to go. I
love that you call him Elon too. Elon.
I was like, yeah. So Elon, what do you do for a living?
Oh my God.
I didn't know. He looked like vaguely familiar to me, but I didn't know who the heck he was.
That's crazy.
When
you met him is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was a long time ago.
But that's on brand. Like, he's so like, fuck it, let's go. So he could just, whatever that guy does to be able to compartmentalize in every aspect of his life, except when someone pisses him off with a meme, is incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
it's true.
It's unbelievable because I guess it just takes a different kind of, well, it definitely takes a different kind of brain to be a guy like
Without a doubt. Forbes came out with a...
You should reach out to him for the pardon, by the way.
I wish I could get to him. I don't know how to get to him
We'll
now.
get to him. Stick with me.
Okay. Okay, let's work on that. I'll tell you something offline that's very important about that.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.